Hey everybody, we're back with another award show audit, guys. How are you all doing tonight?
Hey guys, PIEGUYRULZ here, and welcome.
Shadow late. Well, to be fair, OBS crashed on me, and that's why it was taking so long to get it started up. So,
A poor craftsman blames his tools.
well, I mean, that's true. But
Thank you for
sometimes the
super.
tools can be broken, and it's not the craftsman's fault. I'm just saying.
Thank you for the super chat, Tim. I do remember Action League now.
Action League? What's Action League? Oh,
Uh,
Action League now, I mean.
It's the prequel to to the #1 show on Cartoon Network. It's the Nickelodeon. It was a segment on Kablam. It was the action figures that like fought evil and stuff, and then it got its own little show. There was the Flesh, who was naked all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a
Do
bell.
you remember this, or am I sounding like a crazy? Okay.
It doesn't ring a bell.
There was like Melty, who could melt. There was Stinky Diver. He went in the toilet.
This sounds awful.
It got its own show.
It sounds like it fit right at home in Adult Swim. So
It was not just a cartoon; it was a Nicktoon.
it was a nicked. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Have you seen Smiling Friends?
No, I have not.
Me neither.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about it. I just haven't seen it. No interest.
Same.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, 1991. This was the year it all began. Cartoons did not exist before the Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, and
The
a third
Simpsons.
show, and
Yeah.
and
Cartoons
Simpsons,
weren't
yep.
real, except Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry. Those are like the only, and Scooby Doo.
Yeah, there's
That's
some
basically
classics.
it. Yeah.
But
The
yeah, no,
Flintstones.
I don't know. I'm sure there are some good '80s shows too, but just
Oh
like
yeah, people go crazy over the Transformers
right.
cartoon.
But in general, as far as cartoons I care about, there's very few that premiered before 1990.
Yeah.
Or December 1989. Thank you for the super chat, Shino Shroob. Have either of us played Pokemon Legends Arceus? No, I do not own it.
I have it. I haven't played it yet, but it's on my backlog, so I'll get to it at some point, sometime soon. But
Nice.
I'm playing through the original Borderlands right now, so that's what I'm playing instead.
You and your Borderlands.
Oh yeah, I love to land borders.
All right.
Music, let's go.
So, the year is 1991. The Billboard Top 10 charts, Top 5 charts. What do we have? Do you think there's anything you'll recognize?
No. Maybe Elton John, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There's nothing that I recognize on here.
Okay, that's a
Nothing
great
at all.
sign.
There's Motown Philly at number 11. I know that one because of an Always Sunny episode. That's about it. All right. Well, at number 5 we have One More Try by Timmy T. Yeah. We've got number 4 for the Billboard year-end top 5 singles of 1991. We have Rush Rush by Paula Abdul.
Ooh,
Do you know that one?
no.
Oh.
The only Paula Abdul song I know is Opposites Attract.
Oh, okay. I know number 3 here. Yeah, okay. This one's pretty. I definitely know that. Gonna Make You Sweat, but you might know it more.
Is that the Everybody Dance Now song?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
I
got
knew one.
parentheses.
Oh, I knew one. I'm so proud.
Yeah. Oh. Number 2 is it's a song. And number 1 is Everything I Do It for You.
Wait, number 2 is a song?
Well, I don't really want to say the name of
Okay.
it. That's the thing.
Okay, that's fair.
It's by Color Me Bad. It's a song by American R&B group Color Me Bad, released in March 1991 as the lead single from their debut album CMB. It was produced by Dr. Freeze. Dr. Freeze!
Dr. Freeze.
Not Mr. Freeze. Okay.
No.
Anyway, number one, Everything I Do It For You. That sounds vaguely familiar. I don't know.
Haven't got a clue.
Well, we're almost done with the music.
Yay. This is my least knowledgeable, like, media anything, so.
Everybody dance now. Everybody Dance Now was in parentheses in the title, but yeah, it's not the first title. All right, Mr. Streak, give us the nominees for 1991.
Oh boy. Okay, so 1991, similar to 1992, only had 4 nominees as opposed to the usual 5. So first up, we have Garfield Gets a Life.
Finally.
Yeah, right. It's about time. It only took him until 1991.
He certainly took a few lives before then.
Oh my. Second up is Tiny Toons Adventures with The Looney Beginning.
It's a beginning, all right.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Is it loony? We'll see.
It's a little loony. Third up, we have Will Vinton's claymation comedy of horrors show.
Ooh.
And last but not least, The Simpsons with Homer versus Lisa and the Eighth Commandment.
Ooh.
And those are the 4 nominees of 1991.
All right. What are we talking about first?
So first up, we've got Garfield Gets a Life.
All right. So I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently in like the 80s and 90s, it's just a slew of these Garfield specials. They're just like one-off Garfield specials about various topics, I guess. I don't know, life in the 80s and 90s. This one is about Garfield and John realizing that John has no life. Like he is a sad, pathetic loser who sits at home and exclusively talks to his cat. And so they try to get him out and get him to the disco, where John discovers that disco died 2 decades before. And then he goes to a self-help seminar.
Yep.
Where he meets a lady who then turns out to be allergic to cats.
What a surprise!
Yep. And then John chooses his cat over his love.
And Garfield kills her.
Whoa!
It's actually called Garfield Takes a Life.
I already made that joke.
Well, he
yes,
took another one.
This is the episode where John dancing comes from, and I recognize the dancing. There's a vaporwave video that I like to listen to, and I like to watch that has John dancing in his weird disco getup.
Yeah, it's
Yep, this is Disco John.
It was interesting.
I thought this was pretty good. The thing is that like Garfield as a comic it exists.
Yep.
It's not funny,
No.
but it's there. There's a lot of funny parodies.
Like Azorpa's Field.
I mean, I meant like Garfield minus Garfield. You ever read that?
Mm-mm.
Someone edits Garfield.
Oh wait, yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, out of the Garfield comics, and
those are pretty great.
It just looks like John is just an insane person.
Yeah, for what it's worth, my grandmother sent me a Garfield comic in the mail a few weeks ago, so you know.
Nice. But anyway, what I really liked about this special is that I like the fact that it just canonizes the fact that John is just such a loser. Like I feel like that's a more modern take to joke about how John is just so pathetic, and how Garfield is evil.
Yeah.
But apparently, even back in the early '90s, yeah, I don't know. There's just something funny about the fact that this guy's cat is just like roasting him for like sitting at home and doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the highlight for me was definitely just the fact that Garfield sits there and like talks smack like right to John's face, but obviously John doesn't understand him.
Yes. Yeah. It's certainly something. And then yeah, John's dancing is something, and the self-help stuff is very like over the top sarcastic. They got like the character leading the seminar is just like this really dweeby guy,
Yeah.
who clearly doesn't have good advice, and John just happens to sit next to like a conventionally attractive, not actually awkward woman who is somehow charmed by his nothing.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know. It's funny, and it's kind of funny that she's allergic to cats because of course, like what
Yeah, I thought it was amusing how the seminar dude, like, it's explained on the commercial like he has this really like deep and enthusiastic voice, and then he gets there and John's like, you sounded a lot different on the commercial, and they're like, oh yeah, someone did the voiceover for me. I liked how there was kind of misleading.
Yeah. Does the animation hold up to today's standards? Well, I mean, today's
standards, I mean,
we're talking, what, 20,
30.
no, 30, 31 years in the future. No,
Yeah.
but honestly, I thought this was pretty well animated. There was not a ton of animation mistakes. There was like lots of movement. A show like this, a special like this, could have gotten away with less movement. It's mostly just the characters kind of standing around snarking at each other.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised that, yeah, if you go and watch John's dancing animation, it's varied. It's not like a simple loop. It's just like a lot of different dancing. A lot of dancing that's supposed to be over the top and funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you look at these things from the 90s or the 80s or previously, you look at them and you're like, wow, that's funny because it's bad or whatever. But no, I think it's funny just because the dancing animation is funny. I think they did a good job with it.
And the thing is it goes on for a while too, but it's not like none of it's really repeated that much. It's all different like movements that he does, which adds to the comedy because it just keeps going and going.
Yep. So I thought the animation was solid.
Yeah.
Like especially, I don't know why, but like if you compare it to the Inspector Gadget that we watched like a week or two ago, like that's what I think of when I think of kind of cruddy animation from like the 90s. Lots of animation mistakes, lots of looping, coloring mistakes all over.
Oh yeah.
But no, I thought this was pretty consistent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Honestly, I mean, if you're a fan of Garfield, I definitely recommend this. And even if you're not, I think this is still pretty stellar. I was pleasantly surprised. It's not gonna blow your mind. It's not like there's a ton of funny jokes, but just seeing Garfield. If you like snarky Garfield,
if you like Lorenzo music.
Yeah, and he's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Shadow, did you know that Lorenzo music played Garfield in the animation version, and then Lorenzo music played Bill Murray's character in the animated Ghostbusters, but then Bill Murray played Garfield in the live-action Garfield movies? Did you know that, Shadow?
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. Gee, Pie, that's really cool.
Oh gosh. Shadow and myself think that, like, the Rick and Morty, Ricksty Minutes Garfield jokes, Gazorpa-Zorfield
Dude,
jokes,
that's the
like
best.
The funniest thing in Rick and Morty.
It is. It's the best joke Rick and Morty has ever had.
Yeah. So it
really is. I'd repeat it right now, but I can't. Oh man. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, I think Lorenzo Music does a fine job portraying Garfield's kind of like not caring attitude perfectly, and the way he delivers most of kind of the responses to whatever John says is great. There's definitely something here that is pretty entertaining and fun. And I haven't seen too many Garfield like animated things at all, but this one at least I found to be enjoyable, and I'd much rather watch it than actually read the comic because I don't know, I'm not really big on Garfield for the most part. But
yeah, no, there's something to be said about Garfield. He's just kind of mean, like, but it's funny. So
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Davis. Well, I don't know if it could be funnier than that, Davis. But
oh my gosh. is this a Nickelodeon special? Technically. So if Disney can pull some revisionist history and claim that Star Wars is a Disney movie, it's a Disney classic. Excuse me, the 1977 Star Wars is like an early Disney movie according to Disney Plus. Can we pull the same logic and be like, yeah, this is a good Nickelodeon cartoon?
Yes, we can. I sure hope John becomes available as a fighter in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That'd be great.
Okay, all right, let's move past this.
Okay, so second up, we have Tiny Toons Adventure. Tiny Toon.
Just the one.
Just the one. Tiny Toon Adventures. Excuse me, the Looney Beginning. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Toons, but it is Toon.
Tiny Toon, because it's Looney Tunes.
I know. Yeah.
It's a Tiny Toons.
Force of habit.
All right. So this is the first aired episode of Tiny Toons, and the episode that sets up the show, I guess. Oh boy. So the plot of it is that there is an animator creator guy who is tasked by his boss to make a show, have a new show on my desk by tomorrow morning, because that's how shows are made, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was made by people who make shows, so I guess they know more than we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this guy is like he's voiced by Frank Welker. He's Freddy from Scooby-Doo, is what he sounds like, and he's like, "Oh, I can't make a cartoon. I'm so bad at this," and then he just walks away. And then the cartoon characters come to life. Babs and Buster Bunny, totally original characters, do not steal.
Yep.
They are in no way affiliated with Bugs Bunny.
Yep. And all the other characters too. None of them are associated with anyone that came before. They're completely original.
We got Montana Max. We got Dizzy Devil.
We got Plucky Duck.
Yep. We got
Hampton.
Yeah. All super original characters. It's the 90s. All right, but yeah, basically, this is the characters kind of like establishing their premise. Like they draw Acme Acres, and they audition characters to be villains, and then Bugs Bunny comes in, and he's like, "Nah, I think I'll have a university here.
Yeah,
I want to muscle in on a little bit of this action here." And then he's like, and then they sing a horrible song.
A horrible song.
Because Montana Max steals something. I don't even remember.
He steals their story ideas.
Oh.
All of the plots.
Okay. Well, the scripts were rejected according to the intro.
Yep.
So anyway, they sing a horrible song where they the rhymes are so forced. Like all the Looney Tunes characters are singing about.
It's not even like they're singing. It's like they're half singing, because some
like
of it's
chanting.
they're partially singing, but they're also talking their way through the lines too. It's like not. They don't double down on it. It's weird.
It's very weird, yeah. And then Slapstick, they get their ideas back, and then the boss guy's like, "Here's a bunch of money."
Because animators get paid.
Yeah. That's the most unrealistic thing about all this.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I can believe two cartoon bunnies coming to life on a piece of paper, but when you talk about animators getting paid, that's just unrealistic.
Yeah. I think this finally cements it. I saw this when I was a kid. I watched Tiny Toons. I thought I liked Tiny Toons. I didn't watch Animaniacs. I don't know why. Maybe it went over my head. But as a kid, I remember thinking it was okay, right? Like a fine show. Watching it now, I've had to watch Quack and the Quarks for the recast, and then I feel like I've had to watch it. Oh, yeah, we had to watch a few others on this show.
Yep.
And finally watching this, honestly, I have to say it. I think Tiny Toon Adventures is just a bad show. It's the whole idea is just
referencing.
It's Lunatics Unleashed, but instead of making them superheroes, it's like, let's make baby versions of all the classic Looney Tunes characters, but not the baby Looney Tunes.
They're not baby. They're more like kid versions.
Fine, tiny
babies.
Let's make tiny versions of the tunes.
Yeah. I think
No,
it's
no, but it's not. No, it's a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. Just make a Looney Tunes cartoon then. Fine, but like, this is just it's such a fanficky thing, and they never use the premise of like the university with old tunes. Like they never use it well. They hardly use it at all. And even at like it's not good. I'm sorry. I know there's people that like the show. I don't think it's good. I think that the idea behind this episode, it's an interesting one. It's neat. I can see why this got nominated. But I think as it plays out, it just shows how, like, not funny the comedy is. How many references that's all this show ever has. The animation's fine. It's nice. Sure. Although it's inconsistent from episode to episode. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the show is, like, a sad state of the Looney Tunes in the 90s. Whereas Animaniacs, on the other hand, I've come to super appreciate as an adult, and Animaniacs is fantastic. And I mean, I'm not just saying that as in like Looney Tunes or Tiny Toons is inferior to Animaniacs. It is, but I think just separately Tiny Toons is just, it's a bad show. I'm sorry. So there, there's still like 100 episodes I haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen as an adult. So maybe there's better stuff out there. But it's just not. It doesn't feel like anything original. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm kind of in the same boat where it feels like all this show does is reference other things, but it doesn't do anything on its own to really make it stand out, and that's kind of a problem that I do have with like self-referential humor. Like, for instance, one thing that this made me think of is like Chowder and Gumball, right? Because those are two other shows that are very big on being meta and referencing other things. But the difference between Chowder and Gumball compared to this is that those two shows have way more to them, usually in terms of like their story ideas and the characters. Whereas this, I mean, the characters, as we've already kind of talked about, they're just knockoff, like regular Looney Tunes characters. So that's not original.
We talk, especially like Plucky Duck is just literally Daffy.
Yeah.
Like I don't, at least with some of the other characters, like, Babs gets her like identity stealing from Bugs Bunny, but at least her caricatures and stuff, like I don't like them, the impressions. I don't think they're good, but at least that's kind of a unique thing that she has, right?
Yeah.
Hampton has like the neat freak thing, which Porky Pig doesn't have, although he's a side, fine. But Plucky is just Daffy Duck. I don't know
Daffy.
what to say. I mean, he is. But Buster is Bugs. I like.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then it's like this one. It was like, conceptually speaking, it's a cool idea for a first episode to kind of like in the way it sets up the show. It's like, okay, so this is what you need to make a cartoon. We're gonna do that with our own characters and plot. But as you said, like the actual writing and the comedy that's here isn't really funny, to where it feels like the concept is wasted more than it's,
I don't know. Maybe it's just dated. Maybe that's the I don't know. Sinoshu asks thoughts on baby Looney Tunes in contrast. I watched it a lot. I think mostly when I had sick days from school.
Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid.
I don't really know what to say about it because I haven't seen it in years, and I think it's a different demographic. I think
it is.
It's younger than this.
The only thing that I remember from all of Baby Looney Tunes is there's an episode where I forget who, but one of the characters calls a random phone number, and it's some kid in, I think, China who answers the phone, and the granny's like, you shouldn't talk to strangers on the phone. And that's when I learned, I think this was like back before caller ID really became a thing, so I don't know. That's there's your one random Baby Looney Tunes memory from Shadow Streak. So, but
interesting.
Yeah, no. Getting back to the subject at hand, I think that this show kind of fails in what it's trying to do, because it relies too much on referencing things to where it doesn't have an identity of its own. And especially in the last case with the Halloween special, like if you don't get the references, you're not going to get the show. And that's kind of a problem when a lot of these references are centered around the time that it was made, to where it dates it.
And let's be real too, that although this is an interesting concept for a first episode, I mean it's it definitely borrows, at least at the beginning, it borrows a bit from Duck Amuck. You know, very classic Looney Tunes short.
Yep.
It's not like a wholesale ripoff or anything, but I think I would guess that's the inspiration. There's also, for some reason, Bugs narrates this. I don't know what that adds, other than to just give Bugs Bunny on the screen.
I think that was the point. Is like, here's a recognizable character that everybody knows. That'll get him to that. We'll use this character to push our new show. You know, that's what I figured they were doing. I mean, there's even like a self-aware line where Bugs is like, they're just paying me to do this, and it's like, I mean, yeah, he's basically just he's forced to be there. That's what it feels like.
Given it went on to win multiple Daytime Emmy Awards, it did something right. Tim, do you not get the point of this show? The Emmys mean nothing. They mean nothing.
They literally mean nothing.
To us, at least. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. You know, the show's got a lot of episodes. It's very possible that we just haven't seen the ones that shine. I think I was reading, I think Toon J said he couldn't be here today, but I think he wrote in the chat, or in the server, about how this was like the 50th episode produced, even though it was the first to air. Let's see. Oh, the 48th episode produced. Yeah. Wow. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, the show's coming back. Yeah, we know.
Everything is coming back.
Yep. I don't.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, it's like, I think, because one thing to keep in mind is, of course, 1991. A lot of the other years, I mean, all the other years we talked about hadn't happened yet. And given that, like, fourth wall breaking and meta humor hadn't really caught on much yet, like, it's nowhere near as popular back then as it is today. You know, I would say this probably was a lot more novel and unique back when it came out compared to now. Certainly.
But, you know, another show that had a lot of, like, parody elements and a lot of satire about current pop culture stuff is The Simpsons. And amazingly, that has managed to age gracefully to the point where the 30-year-old episodes are better than the new ones, you know? Like,
and still relevant on top of that.
Right. There are things I don't get in The Simpsons, but I think are funny or interesting, even if I don't get the reference exactly. But yeah, I don't know. And then, I mean, look, this was an attempt to bring the Looney Tunes to a modern audience. I know that in the 90s, things weren't exactly going great for the franchise. So it was something. And yeah, I definitely think that Tiny Toons has not aged well. I think that maybe back then, the impressions and the certain things would have been, you know, more timely. Like, every kid knew who the biggest pop star was in 1991 or whatever, but as evidence, we clearly don't.
No.
You know, like, yeah. So,
yeah, definitely a product of its time.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right, CDCB. Simpsons references were always double layered, so you don't need to get the joke to get a joke. Yeah, and I feel like Simpsons also parodied like trends in media. Like McBain is like an action movie parody. You know, like I'm sure it's parodying something specifically, but the genre and the type of movie that like Arnold Schwarzenegger was in, like, you know, everyone knows that. Whereas, man, I'm pretty sure in this episode, Babs transforms into like 2 or 3 people that I don't know who they are.
Yep.
They sure are someone. Yep. All right, we've talked about this a lot. Oh yeah, there is a Roger Rabbit joke. That one was all right.
Oh, yeah.
That was a sneaky little joke in there. I think one of them is like, you know, oh, you got this, and they're like, yep, Roger Rabbit. And they're like, wrong rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So moving on to the third nominee, it's Will Vinton is back with his claymation comedy of horrors show, This time centered around Halloween, but not like completely.
Okay,
It's like
so
Halloween centric, but it's not directly Halloween like the Easter one was.
We were wrong last week. Apparently, the Easter special is tied to this one in that they both feature the same main character, but basically nothing else. So,
Yep.
pretty standalone still.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're gonna say a lot of the same stuff we said last week, but I have to say, so I guess the plot is basically the greedy pig guy is back or I guess is appearing for the first time. Maybe I don't. Time is weird, but anyway, he's like they find the diary of was it Frankenhog or something?
Yeah, Frankenswine.
Frankenswine, yeah, okay, that's much better. Frankenswine and the pig and his like pathetic snail friend.
The snail from Kirby right back at you.
Go to the mansion where they try to find Frankenstein's monster, Frankenswine's monster to, I guess, just like rule the world or something. But along the way, they run into just like all sorts of creatures, from giant blob monsters to like vampires to the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Like there's and there are dozens of these monsters. This came out before Nightmare Before Christmas, just interestingly. And yeah, I mean that's the bare bones story. Most of it is just kind of wandering around this spooky mansion, running into all sorts of crazy creatures. I'm sure Gendy would say that this is a ripoff of what's his movie?
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania. Yes, that you know, this ripped him off somehow.
Yep.
Via the timelines. But yeah, this was fantastic. I think what this has over the Easter one, which we also really liked, is the fact that there's so many monsters. Like the blob monster is like constantly like oozing, and the skeletons are well designed. It's all claymation, it's all stop motion, it's all impressive. Like and there's so many weird stylistic touches. Like when they find the diary, it's a video diary, and the snail like eats it. And then the snail turns into a TV and is like morphing all over the place into various things, talking like a like an infomercial or like a like a TV commercial guy, and it's just like this stuff is so cool. This is so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, like, again, I've spoken highly of claymation in the past, and like this is just a taste of like what you can do with claymation that other forms. I mean, you can still draw something in the same way, but seeing it done in this style and this method is just like, it's so impressive and so admirable. And that's what I think really makes this stand out as one of like the most unique and interesting like nominees we've ever spoken about on the show, period.
Yeah. Is Monsters Review in there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a Monsters Review.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's so hard to describe. It is on YouTube, and I recommend it very much. It's just cool. Like I don't know. It's the same greedy protagonist. He's kind of like, he's pathetic, and he lies to everyone, and he's like Eddie, basically. He's an Eddie type of character from Ed, Edd n Eddy, and so you just kind of like, you enjoy watching him, and you enjoy watching him fail. The snail companion is a cool addition. They do a lot of stuff with him, like he gets him out of his shell with a plunger. And then he gets the plunger stuck to his face, and there's all sorts of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's Will Vinton. I mean, rest in peace. That man absolutely knew his craft.
Master,
yeah,
mastered it.
I hope he taught it to someone, because, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is Will Vinton, is he the guy that the Gravity Falls episode was paying homage to? That just clicked with me. You haven't seen it, but I'm talking to the audience. No. I'm gonna look that up. You keep talking.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, as far as this special goes, I mean, a lot of the same things that I praised it for last week, it still holds true here. This is so well animated beyond belief, and honestly, it makes me upset that I've only just now kind of come across this guy's stuff. I mean, I've been aware of other things, like I know the Noid existed for years and years, but I never knew that this was the same guy. And just to kind of like come to these specials and appreciate them now is like, it's really something, and it really makes me wish that there were more artists like him, because there's definitely other people out there that are doing stuff like this, and it makes me wish that it would get more recognition, because this is some of the most impressive claymation animation I've ever seen. Might very well be the most impressive, because other than Aardman, which is known for a lot of their claymation, there's not too many other like studios or animators I can really think of that do this and that get a lot of wide spread recognition. But yeah, no, the monster designs, the character designs are great. The comedy is great, both visually and the writing, like both fronts. It's fantastic. I absolutely love this just as much as the last one. Will Vinton Studios later became Laika? Oh,
really?
Okay,
wow.
That makes sense. Because I know Laika does interesting stuff with animation like this too. That's pretty cool.
Okay, I was wrong. It was not a reference to him, but yeah, I don't have a lot to say. It's not, the story is not the main focus. It's like they find out about the mansion, then they wander around the mansion, and they finally find the monster. And I won't say what happens at the end. There's no point. I would urge you to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly just the spectacle of all of the things they can do with claymation, and just the designs and the backgrounds, and there's some good jokes in there, like the laboratory.
Yeah.
It's such a, I don't know, it's such a dad joke, but it works. So yeah, I would say go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely deserves a nomination.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, last but not least, we have The Simpsons with Homer versus Lisa and the Eighth Commandment.
All right. So, in this episode, Homer gets illegal cable installed into his TV by some shady cable installer, where he gets all the cable channels for free. And everyone enjoys it in the house until Lisa realizes that it's stealing, and decides to protest this right when the big sports game is on TV, the big pay-per-view game that everyone wants to see, but no one has access to that channel. And it's basically a debate between Lisa and Homer over whether it's legal or moral, or not legal, whether it's moral to pirate cable. The first takeaway from this is just that, like, it's super dated in terms of getting free cable channels. Like that's such an old school line of thinking. That's something that hasn't, I don't know, like, I guess this was a thing where there would be shady cable installers that would like offer to hook you up for free if you like gave them a chunk of money, like a bunch of cash. But it's just like, it seems like so long ago that happened. But the core idea about piracy, like all the debates and it's not stealing if you're doing it from a big faceless company. They say all the same debates, the same things people talk about today with pirating stuff online. Yep. It's like the technology has completely changed, but the actual core debate and the core thoughts, it's like 100% just still relevant today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's like this episode aged like fine wine, because it's incredible. Like Pi said, it's exactly what people are. It's like talked about every so often on the internet when piracy gets brought up. People are for this and against this and whatnot, and it's very much a moral issue. And I like the way it's an interesting way to kind of tie in the eighth commandment of thou shalt not steal is like Lisa's moral point of view, because it's a very clever way to kind of introduce that concept to her and then kind of introduce the subject, which is funny because she's not a Christian after a certain point.
Yeah. Oh, we saw the episode where she came
yeah.
a Buddhist. No, I find it interesting that they frame it as a religious thing, and I don't know. I thought it was handled very well. Like, this episode opens with like a big flashback, I guess, like a back in time opening where it's like when the commandments were being handed down, and Homer is like Homer the Covetous or whatever,
Yeah.
and he just steals everything. Homer the Thief. There's like a funny background of sequence to open it up. There's also some fantasy sequences with like Homer imagining himself in jail and Lisa imagining her family in Heck Boy. There's like a lot of really cool stylized flourishes to this episode. It's got a really cool core conceit, and yeah, it's a debate and a something that people still talk about today. Like, they picked a pretty fantastic episode. I don't think this is the best episode from the second season. I probably would have picked Bart Gets an F personally, but this is a phenomenal episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was great. It's pretty entertaining. I love the ridiculousness of like more and more people just inviting themselves over to Homer's place to watch the game because nobody was paying for cable, which is great. It's definitely an interesting conflict for Lisa to kind of explore.
I also think, and good Lord, do I not have any interest in getting into this debate here, but I do think that the episode ends in a place where Homer basically gives in, not because of morality, but because of his daughter.
Yep.
Like the episode, I don't think so. Maybe, you could read into it differently, but I don't think the episode really gives any conclusive answers on, it kind of presents some sides of it. It definitely brings up the faceless corporation thing, which I think is a relevant point. And it does end with Homer cutting their cable, but I think that he caves because of Lisa. It's not. I don't think that this is an episode about the evils of cable piracy. I think it's an episode that's ultimately about two characters with different positions.
Yeah, meant to prompt discussion.
Yeah.
And I like that it doesn't necessarily take a side. It kind of presents both arguments and just kind of leaves it open for the viewer to interpret however which way they want.
Yeah. Maybe it is pandering to the Emmy voters because of the somewhat anti-piracy message.
Yeah, could be.
Someone in the chat said that. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think it's definitely interesting, and I mean, even in broader application, just the idea of morality, and just like there's principles and there's actual practice. I don't know. It's cool. The episode, I think, is really neat. I like that it's not like the church against Homer. I like that it's specifically Lisa. There's some funny stuff subplot with like Bart watching adult TV. And then other than that, there's also just like in a lot of Simpsons episodes, there's just commentary on TV. There's just Homer sits at his couch so long he leaves an indent, and there's all sorts of just little audio snippets of like parodies and jokes and stuff on the TV. It's a well put together episode.
Yeah, and again, it's really impressive, and it stands as a testament to how well written that the OG Simpsons was. That it's still relevant to this day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. One of the funny things, like, I believe in the context of when this episode originally came out, the idea of like inviting Apu over to watch the game like was seen as Homer, going overboard because he was just some guy at the convenience store. I don't believe they'd had any real meaningful interactions before this. So the idea of that, but it kind of gets lost because they had a handful of other episodes together, and they're basically just friends. When I rewatch this, I always have to remind myself, like, oh, okay, right, that's the context is that you're inviting the convenience store guy.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Burns is got a little, he's not in it much, but he's got a funny little bit in it.
Yeah, I love. He's like, you could pay for it yourself, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wrestling smack talk, or not the wrestling. Wow, the boxing smack talk. I want to dedicate this one to my manager who died. I'm gonna dedicate my fight to your manager who died.
You can't do that. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and good point, Brian. The cops come, right? But instead of like arresting Homer, they just want to watch the match too. So again, it's it also, I mean, it just shows that like so many people pirate or don't have a problem with it. But it's interesting. It's I don't know. I'm always fascinated with morality and just practical applications of it, and just things that work in theory are really hard to hold to your principles when there's just a ton of people doing it. Everyone's doing it is an excuse a lot of people use, and it's not really a good excuse, but in practice it's hard to say no sometimes when there's a big group.
Yeah. And I'm sure Homer was thrilled about being the center of attention. Kind of getting all these people to come to his house. He was the guy.
Yeah. I like at the beginning when Ned is like chewing out the guy who offered to illegally install cable, which is funny because that's not at all how you'd expect Ned Flanders to act. That's early characterization on Ned when he could actually still get angry sometimes. But I like how Homer's basically, oh no, that's awful, and then he just like runs after the guy to get his free cable. Yeah,
that was a good opener.
So,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, great Simpsons episode.
Absolutely.
Ready to move on?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So that's it?
That's all four.
Record time!
Woo!
Somebody call Sonic the Hedgehog, because we
fast. Gotta go fast.
Shadow's gotta watch the big boxing match at 8.
Yeah. I had cable illegally installed in my apartment just so I could see it.
Uh-oh, where's the Post-it? Where's the Post-it?
We don't need the Post-it. Next we say what we would nominate.
It's not where I usually keep it.
This is where we say what we would nominate.
Shadow, I need the Post-it.
You don't need the Post-it. I have the order memorized. And even if you find it, let me do it anyway so I can prove that I know the order.
I found it. All right. I got the evidence here.
Okay.
So what do we do first?
What would we nominate?
All right. Very good. Shadow's got it. Buddy, what are you going to nominate?
This is awkward. I'm going to go with, what's the time frame again? It's June 1990 to May 1991?
Yeah. All right. I'm
going with A Hero for Earth, Season 1, Episode 1 of Captain Planet, for no other reason than I don't know any other show. But you know what? Captain Planet, it was definitely one of the most memorable 90s cartoons, whether people want to admit it or not. It was super unique, very eco-friendly messages, great for the kids, very, very positive. It's been parodied by so many other people. It had a huge influence on our culture.
There's a Rick and Morty episode.
Don Cheadle dressed up as Captain Planet for a couple YouTube videos that one time. He was the secret hidden character for Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL. Captain Planet, he was in OKKO that one time. Dude is a legend. So I'm going with the first episode of Captain Planet. Because I literally don't have that. I don't know any other shows.
I'm going to go with Dragon Ball Z episode 95, Transformed at Last. After Goku released his spirit bomb against Frieza, the surrounding area of Namek has been broken apart. As a result, Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin regroup and celebrate the defeat of Frieza. But then it's cut short when Frieza comes back and Goku goes legendary Super Saiyan.
That's awesome.
All I have to say about that.
That's amazing. Man, If only I had seen Dragon Ball Z, I might have more to say.
I'm sure I have seen that episode at some point in my life. I don't know.
Well,
it's hard to find nominees from this time period. It's clearly not our time period.
Well, as many people are mentioning in the chat, is anime animation? Does it count? It only got nominated that one time.
Oh no, wait a minute. The Japanese air date is June 19th, 1991. Does that count?
June. Oh no, that's just after it. It's June 1990 to May 1991.
You can't do this to me.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. Pick a different Dragon Ball Z episode that was just pick the over 9,000 episode.
No, that's too early. It's too early. All right, episode 66, Goku's new power. The Jinyu Force are confused as they witness another spaceship landing on Namek. Goku exits the ship and races to the battlefield, where he finds an almost lifeless Gohan. He gives Gohan and Krillin a Senzu bean, and one to Vegeta, where he finds out the boys are only alive because of him.
I don't know what you just said, but okay.
I don't know. Episode 66, Goku's new power.
Yeah, I think there's only been 2 anime things that have been nominated.
I know, it doesn't actually really, like, I don't know. Whatever, I'm counting it.
Okay, that's fine.
November 7th, 1990, does that count?
Yes, that would fall into the time frame. Although you'd have to specifically nominate the Japanese dub.
Yes.
Okay.
No subs. Make them watch it purest version.
Yeah, it has to be the Japanese dub. Imagine that. Imagine making the Emmy voters watch a Japanese dubbed anime. I don't think they could do it. I don't think they could. They don't have it in them. That's amazing.
I called him Fajita for a second there.
Fajita? Oh my gosh.
Fajita, what does the scouter say about his rap level?
Oh my god. Oh man, that was a great nomination. I applaud
Thank
you.
All right, fine. If you want a more serious nominee,
I don't. I don't. That was perfect.
Bart gets an F. All right, but I think they picked a good Simpsons episode, so I didn't want to say that. But fine, Bart gets an F. Are you happy?
No, I like the Dragon Ball Z one better. Okay. All right. So next up is our ranking.
Yes.
Boom. You want to go or should I?
You can go first.
Okay. All right. So
I just want to note that everyone's roasting me for your lack of anime knowledge.
that's okay. I'm used to it.
Pie's showing his age with this nominee. Bro, this was before I was born.
Yeah.
This was before I was born. What? How old are you then, Phoenix? Are you a boomer?
Because as we all know, you're either a boomer or a millennial.
Yes.
There's no Gen X.
If you weren't born, if you were born before the 90s, you were born in the 60s.
Yep. That's basically it.
Oh, didn't say it was an old age. Oh, all right, fine. You're 27. You're younger than me. What are you talking about, Phoenix? Down.
Oh my gosh.
What's your avatar, Mr. Phoenix? What is that supposed to be? I can't. It's too small.
I hope it's a phoenix.
Oh, that would make sense.
Is it Knuckles?
It looks like it's from some video game.
I don't know. It could be Knuckles from the side. That white thing could be like his glove.
You're probably right. I hate it.
Dude, if it is Knuckles, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Phoenix. You're cool.
Falcon character, your buddy Doodle.
I wonder if Phoenix is actually Idris Elba. Does it look like I need your power? Idris Elba's voicing Knuckles in the second Sonic movie. Didn't you know this, Pie? Aren't you so hyped for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie?
I do not allow Sonic information to penetrate the walls of my skull. It goes in and out.
Oh, that's a shame. You don't know what you're missing, man. You don't know what you're missing.
Ben Schwartz plays Sonic. Okay.
Okay,
ranking.
So ranking. All right, so as far as this ranking goes, I'm gonna probably put Tiny Toons at the bottom, Don't get me wrong. Like I said before, the concept itself is pretty good. And given the time that this was made, it wasn't... I can imagine it hadn't been done much before. As we mentioned, Duck Amuck, was an animated short of Looney Tunes that did the whole animator interacting with the character prior to this. But the way that it kind of establishes its show and works through the steps is interesting. It's just unfortunate that the writing doesn't really uphold the concept well enough. In the number 3 spot...
Hang on. We also have to mention... Okay, 2 things about Tiny Toons. Forgot to mention. They play the intro song to this episode. Why would they play the theme song that explains the show in the episode that explains the show? They couldn't have just done a cold open and just left it at that? Like, we really... I mean, I love the song. It's the best part of the show. It's the best part of the show, but I'm just saying it's a little redundant to hear them singing about the show and everything in the show, and then we get to see it be created. There's just no mystery or surprise to any of it, right? Like, am I wrong?
If I had to guess...
No.
It was produced as the 48th episode, and so because it wasn't produced as the first episode, maybe the people that were making it were just like, yeah, just slap it on there.
I think.
It aired first, yes, but they didn't make it first. So maybe they're just like, it's just an ordinary episode, let's slap the intro on there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who is in charge of that decision, But maybe they just couldn't be bothered to like just slap the intro on there. Because I know there are a lot of pilots out there that don't have the intro.
Maybe Philip K's right. Maybe. Oh, I don't think this. This wasn't a pilot.
But first episode pilot. Point is, like the first thing of the show doesn't necessarily have the intro. Like Samurai Jack.
But it's just like, why do I even need the episode? They should just play the theme song on loop for 30 minutes.
Well, you get the gist after the first playing of it, though. Do you really want to hear the theme song on loop? Because you basically do hear the song on loop. That is the episode when you get down to it, because they go through exactly what the intro says, and the intro theme is playing in the background of like every scene.
Yes, that was the other thing I was gonna mention. It's just that they... Oh my gosh, they use the instrumental. It's just like a slowed down version of it. Oh, like half this episode is just the same song.
Yeah, it's monotonous.
It did not spoke music like Batman the Animated Series.
No.
Certainly not.
Nope. Yeah. So I definitely...
Why the scripts were rejected, am I right? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely put that at the bottom. Third up, I'm going to put Garfield Gets a Life. It was, it was enjoyable. It was fun. It didn't blow me away, but it was entertaining, and I thought that, Garfield himself was pretty witty. And John dancing, who didn't love that, right? In the second slot, I'm going to put the Simpsons episode, Homer versus Lisa and the Eighth Commandment. Very well-written episode. Great debate, great discussion that it sparks. I enjoyed the progression. Excuse me. A lot of the characters had great moments. I'm glad it doesn't pick a side, and the animation is it's really well made, especially for 1991. In the number 1 spot, though, it's got to be Will Vinton Comedy of Horror Show, because it's like next level animation. Nothing else in this year compared in terms of like the way it was animated, the amount of like hard work, effort, planning, the blocking of the characters on screen, the way that the characters bend and mold into different shapes and different objects is just wholly unique. The monster designs that appear on screen is just a pleasure to see through and through. It's an absolute blast, 100%, and one of the best things I think we've seen, period, in doing the award show audit. I absolutely loved it, and 100% deserves the award here.
Shadow, get rid of the picture of Lisa. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Stop. All right. Remember to vote. Link in the description.
Yep.
Yeah. My ranking's the exact same for the exact same reasons. Like, yeah. Tiny Toons. Like, I give it some credit. It's not. It was easier to watch than a lot of things. I just didn't think it was funny, and I thought that it had a decent idea that it just squandered. It just did nothing with. But I can't say I hated it as much as I can say that like it cements to me that like the show, I just don't think is good. Like I just don't think it has anything going for it. And even in this episode, which I think is like a cool idea, it's wasted. But as far as for this show, it's probably got to be one of the better like bottom entries.
Oh yeah.
Right? I feel like almost every week there's at least one that's just, Inspector Gadget or Bob's Burgers or whatever. Like pretty bad. So
yeah, this was a good year overall, like bar none, one
definitely.
of the best ones.
I didn't know so many people like Tiny Toons. That's
Dang.
It's coming back, so there you go.
Yeah.
And then third, same with Garfield, where it's just like this one surprised me, but at the end of the day, a few good jokes and decent animation. It's just not going to hold up to award-worthy standards compared to some other things. In a weaker year, this could have taken it, to be honest. Like, it's perfectly enjoyable, but I don't think it's, too great. I think it's mostly great by just, like, also expectations. Like, I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. So then, number 2 is The Simpsons. And, yeah, I mean, this is a great episode. I think in a lot of other years, this would have just taken number 1. But Will Vinton is just... he's just good. He's just good. I don't know how many other people animated it with him, but I'm willing to bet it's not like a team of hundreds.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet it's much less people than went into like, CGI on Loki the show or whatever. Like an average episode of Loki or whatever. So, yeah. That's it. Just the designs. Just every moment is like they're throwing something very weird at you, and it's just unlike a lot of other things. I think it's even better than the Easter one, which he made the next year.
Yeah.
So. Yep. All right.
Okay.
What's up next, Mr. What the Post-it note knows?
We announce which one actually won the award.
Very good. I actually don't know.
Okay, well, I'm not upset with this result, but the one that actually won was the Simpsons episode.
Okay. I mean, to put it into context, this is also only the second year The Simpsons was nominated.
Correct.
The show had not been on the air for that long, so not only is it good just from our standards all these years later, but like from the standards of someone who's only seen, there's only been like 15 episodes of The Simpsons out at this point, or 20 episodes. Like the fact that this is within the show's first 2 seasons, and it's not even like the best episode from that season, surely shows how good the show is and how different it is.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting because although that the claymation stuff is more foreign to us, back in 1991, it was a lot more common, right? Like not super common, but there's like the California Raisins, also by Vinton, was nominated one year. I had one other example, so that's something. No, but I'm just saying that like it's just kind of funny that The Simpsons is super common now, and it does make older episodes like we see it as good as a Simpsons episode, but it's hard to imagine a time when The Simpsons was a new concept.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So
everyone in chat, make sure you mention you like Bob's Burgers. We went through a whole decade of shows, guys. We know everyone likes this show except us.
Except us.
Yep. We know. We are the unpopular opinion. You don't have like, it's okay.
We're the unpopular opinion. I'm sorry. Okay. I had to.
Oh yeah, Gumby.
Oh yeah.
Pingu. There's other examples. Boom.
Yeah.
Now name a claymation show right now.
Creature Comforts America.
That's not currently running. Dad, sometimes on Robot Chicken, we like to use a little bit of clay with the action figures. And that's how we got to be the #1 claymation show. at the 8 a.m. slot on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I thought the PJ's claymation was pretty decent.
Oh, that's true. That's also closer in
Yeah.
proximity to this than to us.
It is, yeah. But yeah, there's not
Oh.
too you don't see claymation much anymore outside of like
Because it's a lot of work.
shorts.
It's
It
a lot
is.
of work.
It really is. But if if you put in the effort, like in this case, it pays off.
Yeah.
Artistically, like this is again phenomenal.
But I think that's the thing with claymation and stop motion. If you have to be really good, because if you're not like flawless with it, it shows.
Yeah.
Like it comes off as awkward and stilted and unlikable. You know what I mean? Like you could devote hours and hours and find out that like, oh well, you didn't plan it right and your frame rate looks really weird. Or like your characters move too far. Like it's high risk, right? It's why would anyone want to risk that unless they were a master at it? Like I wouldn't. Like stop motion in general like can be fun, but like especially claymation seems like it would be just a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But much respect to them for everyone who worked on it.
Batman the Animated Series is claymation because there's literally a
There's
kind
Clayface.
of Clayface. I guess by that logic, Harley Quinn is the most claymation show.
Right? Oh man.
Yeah, it fun, but it does. I'm sure. I mean, if you know what you're doing, yeah. But it's just like, like I don't know. Filming something in live action can take time too, certainly. But it's also easier to correct if there's something wrong.
Right.
To just do a quick reshoot or I don't know, cut the scene or like whatever. But like, stop motion.
Yeah.
So much planning. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the poll results?
Oh boy. Let's do it.
Now, out of 165 votes, I haven't looked yet. Here we go. Boom.
Oh boy.
In dead last, at 7% of the votes, it's Will Vinton's claymation comedy.
Oh my
of Horrors.
gosh. Not surprised.
All right. It's okay. It happens.
It's okay. People just don't understand the greatness of it.
In second to last, with 15%, it's Garfield Gets a Life, which kind of surprised me. I'd expect Garfield to be higher just for the memes.
Yeah, right.
17% coming in at number 2, Tiny Toons: The Looney Beginning. And at number 1 with a whopping 61% of the vote, it is Homer versus Lisa and the Eighth Commandment. I'm not disappointed by that at all. And hey, I'm sure not a lot of people have seen Will Vinton's claymation comedy of horrors. But yeah, I would say that this was a pretty solid year.
Definitely. Yeah, and a lot of
4 noms every year.
Yeah, right.
Maybe the 5th nom was the mistake.
Yeah, I mean honestly, if we remove the 5th nom from like every year, the one that we ranked at the bottom, I don't think it would have really been a bad thing. I can't think of many years where all 5 nominees were like, yeah, these are all award worthy. I don't know if that's ever happened.
Honestly, I think, was it 2020? The one year where it was a Bob's Burgers episode we liked, and a BoJack episode, and a Rick and Morty episode we liked. Like I think it might be 2020. Let me see.
Well, that was also the Thanksgiving of Horrors one, right? Which I liked at the time because I didn't see other Simpsons episodes, but I think my opinion on it's probably changed.
But you hate it.
Well, I don't know if I'd hate it, but I'm sure my opinion of it has changed.
I still thought it was good. I've seen hundreds of Simpsons episodes.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. 2020 had Big Mouth.
Oh yeah, yep.
But that was it. That was the pig episode of Bob's Burgers. Yeah, that would have been But if they cut off the fifth one, just get rid of Big Mouth. We'd get the Vat of Acid episode, Thanksgiving of Horror, The View from Halfway Down, Pig Trouble in Little Tina. Yeah.
That's the secret. Just get rid of that 5th nom.
Well.
Okay.
Ooh. Big Mouth. Remember when we had to watch Big Mouth for this show?
I try not to.
All right. So, since we have a little bit of time here, I guess on a more serious note, We need to talk about the future of this show.
Mike Judge is not coming back, guys. I'm sorry to say.
No.
Okay, no. On a real serious
ruin the
note.
tone.
On a
Don't
real.
ruin the tone. Oh my gosh.
I apologize for the dog. That was my neighbor. I can't help that, guys. Sorry about that.
Will someone shut that down?
No, you are not allowed back on the show. We already announced it. Go away, Mike Judge. No, let Pie continue, Mr. Judge.
Sorry, Mr. Pie, please continue. All right. Yeah, on a more serious note, we've been doing this show for 40 episodes.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. And some time ago, we did announce that we were going to continue the show past the half-hour category. Plans have changed, and we are no longer going to be doing that.
Yep.
We are going to, next week, do the hour-long 1991 mixed with the one from 1994, I believe?
97.
97, excuse me. We are going to be doing the 1990 episode. And then after that, we are going to do, I believe, 3 episodes ranking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be our grand finale.
Yep.
We talked about it a lot. You know, we very much enjoyed doing the award show audit, but it's you know, it's busy time of the year at work for me, and I just don't have, you know, all the energy to do it anymore. And I feel like we're gonna undergo a really big project in ranking all of these. They should be really fun streams, and I think that is a more serving finale than if we were to do a few episodes of, you know, anything else. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's currently the plan. So you still have 2 more normal episodes and then like 3 more of our special finale episodes.
Yep.
So, you know, we'll be here for, you know, at least another month, probably maybe 2 if there's delays. But yeah, so that's the plan. I mean, on the upside, what we'll say is that our ranking plans. You want to tell them the ranking plans?
Yeah, we can.
How we're gonna do it? Okay. So the first episode, we are going to just rank all of the hour or more categories.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna look at all of them. We're gonna do a big tier list. We've got pictures for all of them.
Yep.
And we'll make the tier list public so you guys can do your own rankings.
Mm-hmm.
But live on the air here, we will kind of go through each thing and debate over what's worse and what's better and what we hated, and it'll be like a fun little trip down memory lane. So yeah, we're gonna start with the hour-long category, and then we're going to be splitting up the half-hour category into the top 50th percentile and the bottom 50th percentile. So basically, everything that we think is like in the middle and down is going to be one episode, and the middle and up is one episode.
Yep.
I don't know which order should we do. Should we end on the best or the worst? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we could do a poll and we could see what the viewers want.
Yeah. You share in the Discord which one you think we should go out with. But basically, we'll split it in 2 because it's a lot. It's a lot of things, guys. It's like 5 entries for 30 years,
mm-hmm.
roughly.
You know, yeah. What I'll do in the Discord, I'll make a message in the announcements, and I'll put 2 reactions there for like best or worst, and then people can react to it. So yeah, keep an eye out in the Discord server after the stream ends. I'll be adding a little message in there, and we can do the voting that way.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. The best. You don't want to end on Bob's Burgers.
Well,
all right, we'll see. Everyone's saying the best, but I mean, like,
we'll see.
Well, vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your vote matters here.
It does.
Oh, and we'll also be voting on the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yep, that will be another stream.
Yeah, we are still doing that. I don't know, depending on when the voting goes live for the KCAs, that would be a nice thing probably to do between the 1990 week and then the start of the rankings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We could probably try to time it that way.
Yeah, let's try. We'll see, depending on when the voting goes. So what we're gonna do for that episode is we will be here live on the Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, just with you guys, and we'll vote on the Kids' Choice Awards. Just do the same thing I do every year, video wise.
Yep.
But it'll be on a live stream. I think I live streamed it once or twice before. It should be fun. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a few more episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yep. We are not rewatching everything, but for the ranking. But we have already rewatched a few episodes that we couldn't quite remember. Like, we were a little fuzzy on whether we put them in the top or the bottom, 50th percentile. So, yeah. So we did watch. We did, and we will be rewatching some things. We are not going to rewatch
most of the hour-long stuff.
Yeah.
I remember pretty much every single hour-long thing that probably won't need to do that. But
there's probably also going to be a separate tier for the hour-long to just put trash documentaries in one bucket.
There will be.
We have not watched that like a TV episode, but we will by the time that we do the ranking. That was our agreement. But yes, we have not forgotten. All right, so you got like 5 or 6 more episodes of this show.
Yep.
Yeah, and thank you guys for being cool. We're sorry that we're ending. No, I'm not sorry. We did this for a year.
We did. It was a pretty good project.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys don't want to hear us go before the 90s. It's just
It's not. I don't know. I feel like it would be.
Yeah.
Too uninteresting at a certain point. I mean, the things to talk about would be interesting in the sense of how different they are, but I don't know. I feel like our discussions would get shorter and shorter as the streams have kind of gotten lately, but
yeah, maybe like a one-off. Maybe we'll pick one interesting year or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We've got a few more ideas, but the show is definitely coming to an end within the next 10 episodes. So just everyone brace for that.
Yeah.
You three, Pie Shadow and Gendy did such a great job in these 40+ weeks. It's crazy. This was almost as long as the recast.
We definitely couldn't have done it without Gendy.
So no, you have to be like the number 1 supporter of all of my like weird spin-off projects. I so much appreciate you for that. We appreciate all of you guys, but Sinistry was out there commenting on the Pokemon runs.
Yep.
So I've been reading them, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate all of you. Janora mentions the best part of the award show audit was when I called Ugg a scumbomb, and everyone in chat went crazy. Oh man, yeah.
Good times.
I also don't want to talk about the SpongeBob episodes in the short form.
That's fair too, yeah.
Have you guys seen the SpongeBob episodes that got nominated for an Emmy? I did a video on that already, actually. You don't get why people say Gendy's the best joke of the show. That man puts too much work in to be called a joke. Absolutely. Gendy is a hero and a scholar, and hopefully he'll weigh in on some of the rankings.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure we can book him. He's not doing anything right now, I don't think. Just Primal Season 2 and that other show that we don't know anything about.
Hotel Transylvania, the series?
No, that already happened. I don't think he had any involvement with it, but they did already make that.
You remember that? Yeah, the time that we were messing around with the show's assets in OBS, and Shadow hasn't let me host since.
Nope.
So sad. No, we just stopped moving after a certain point.
Yeah, yeah. We can't let things get too crazy around here, Gotta keep it grounded a little bit.
Yeah, every week I would just be bouncing. The screenshot would be all like inverted and super zoomed in. You guys don't want to give me that kind of power.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved in the TV show. Getty is involved in every aspect of all of our lives at all moments.
Yeah. He solely created our childhood.
You've seen it. You're pretty sure you've seen every episode of the recast Stream Soda and the award show audit and the baby run. Aw.
That's impressive.
Nice.
Kudos to you.
Remember
My
the
guy.
recast?
I do. That was fun. Good times.
I feel like I don't mention it enough.
If there's one thing that we don't mention at all, it's like Stream Soda we hardly acknowledge. That was a summer project that happened.
Remember when I made you watch The Jungle Book?
No, I don't want to. Christopher Walken is ruined because of that movie.
Ooby doo.
No.
Hello, Ardinator Gaming.
Oh, hey. How's it
I
going?
assume you just clicked on a random live stream.
Hello, random people. Hello. Okay, well, with that said, I think we can go ahead and announce the noms for next week. Unless you have anything more to say. I guess not. Okay. Well, in that case, do you have anything more to say?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So next week, we mentioned this previously in a couple streams, but 1997 and 1991 both had one single nominee in the hour or more category. So what we decided to do is just combine both of them into one show rather than just spend one stream each on one nomination. So
Yes.
with that said, we're combining, like I said, 1997 and 1991. So the 1997 nominee is this film called The Willows in Winter. And the
Cool.
and the 1991 hour or more nominee is Tailspins part 1 and 2 of Plunder and Lightning.
Ooby doo.
No, stop.
Look for the bare necessity.
Oh my gosh. You know how they made that song using just the bare necessities?
You know, Shadow, Bill Murray was Baloo.
Oh my gosh.
In the live action Jungle Book, and Frank Welker was Baloo in the Tailspin, and Lorenzo Music, he was Garfield.
Oh man.
I never thought I'd be doing so many impressions on this show.
Yeah, right?
Goodness.
Oh man. Well,
Jim Cummings was Blue, I think.
Yeah.
I was...
oh man.
Yeah, my Rick impression. And that's the only one I've ever done.
Yep. No, he's never done any others.
Mm-hmm.
All the other guests we got on the show were real. Yeah.
Yeah.
That really was Matt Groening that dissed all of the other reindeer, and then I banned him.
But what if Matt Groening had a lot more material and jokes and references, and he wanted to say something about the fact that the show
he's
has
banned.
the most Emmys for primetime animated.
Well,
primetime
he
cartoon
shouldn't have come on to this show and smack talked all of the other reindeer. His
He named
greatest.
all of the other
It is
reindeer.
his greatest animated project he's ever worked on.
What's my Shadow Streak impression? Hello,
Wait, is that me or monsters?
I'm Shadow Streak.
What was that?
I like Star Wars and Lego. And you know, I don't like Donnie the Unicorn. I don't like live action Jungle
God.
Book, and I don't like being a good person.
Wow, is that how you view me? Wow,
No,
was-
that's how I hear you.
that hurt. That hurts. I am in great pain. Wubba lubba dub dub. Am I right?
What did you say? Was that monsters? You want me to? I could do monsters.
Do
impression.
monsters. Do it.
Hey yo, it's Monster Review. How you doing?
Oh my gosh.
I got a VHS collection behind me. Yeah, forget about it.
Camp Laszlo.
Remember when we had guests on this show that were real people?
Yeah, we did like that one time.
we had monsters and CDCB and Jim, and I think that was it.
I think that was it. I think we've only had 3 people. Yeah.
It's hard harder to schedule things in a live stream, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gendy's not a guest though, guys. He's a co-host. Just remember
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's just like the infrequent co-host that just shows up whenever anything that he worked on is brought up, because he only cares about what he worked on and nothing else.
Largo is the second worst episode of the Powerpuff Girls reboot, behind Once Upon a Townsville.
Largo's not the second worst. It's down there, but it's not the second worst. Second worst is You're a Good Man Mojo Jojo, Season 2, Episode 29.
What's your impression of me then, Shadow?
Hang on, I gotta go get some soda.
Oh, wow. Do me and my Coke addiction like that?
Alright, guys, I'm gonna spend the next 20 minutes practicing my intro for this this podcast that we're gonna do. I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, now I just need to break out in hysterical laughter for no reason.
It's not an impression, you're just saying things that happened.
Yep.
Listen, there was one discussion, like, what was that even, what, it was some Powerpuff Girls discussion we did, like, in 2018.
Yep.
And maybe I had a little too much soda that day, and I was giggling the whole time. But as you all know, I am always professional, and I've never laughed and ruined anything, so. That's the amazing listen, kids. That's the amazing thing. When you don't do drugs or drink, all it really takes is like a little bit of soda, and you're feeling great.
I really wish I had voice mod proactive right now, because I would give myself an echo and I'd go, Scumbob.
Get Baloo off the screen. Baloo.
No! Baloo loves his plane. Let him enjoy his plane.
Why is the bear from the Jungle Book flying a plane? All right.
I don't know. Ask Disney in 1991.
All right.
Fine. I see people clearly don't have an appreciation for aviation as much as Baloo.
All right. You know what, guys? You want the real truth? Look, we got to end the show because Shadow and I aren't getting along anymore. It's all falling apart.
Oh my god.
Our friendship is in tatters. Just before we called Shadow, before we started the stream, he was like, "You know what? I can't have any more of your Sonic hating ways. I can't take it anymore. I'm just not strong enough."
It's true. It's true. Pi just won't come around to Sonic the Hedgehog, so I have to cut him out of my life forever.
Did you say Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
How dare you?
Shadow the Hedgehog is the other character. I love how Phoenix just goes, "Oh, we knew that for months." It's like, oh, okay. Not much of an announcement.
I wish, like, okay. It would be great to be in a podcast with someone that you're, like, currently having a falling out with. And, like, it just plays out over the course of, like, years of podcasting.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be...
I mean, I like you too much as a friend, but, like, you know, someone I didn't like. Like,
Like, insert person here. Boy, I sure don't like insert person here.
Yeah. Oh, man. Penn and Teller, I don't know that they have that kind of banter. Shadow isn't really, it's just another impression. Wouldn't that be sad if one week you didn't show up and it was just me and Gendy?
So, Gendy, what do you think of this episode? Hello, it's me.
But then it would just be like 20 minutes of laughing.
Laughing with just Gendy and you. Oh, man.
Gendy, what is your ranking? On number 5 at the Simpsons episode. I think it had enough Gendy animation in it.
Number 4, I don't care. Number 1, Samurai Jack. Number 2, Samurai Jack again. It was so good, I won it twice.
Samurai Jack was so good that it's the 90s cartoon, despite the fact that it doesn't happen in the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't Gendy, guys. That was just our impression of Gendy. You come on. You should be able to tell the difference.
I will say, though, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm upset about, like, 2017 Emmys not having Samurai Jack Season 5 nominated. That was awful. I hate that. If they had nominated Episode 2 of Season 5, or even Episode 3 of Season 5, oh, man, dude, the Emmys would have been... They would have been a party that year.
They should nominate... the Powerpuff Girls 2016.
No, they did, and it was awful because they picked the worst possible episode.
Can we do just that year of the?
No, I don't want. I don't want to talk about that episode ever again because it literally makes me angry.
Hang on, what year of the short form was that?
2016.
What else happened in 2016? Maybe
Adventure Time. I know Adventure Time won that year.
Well, we can, maybe. Standing short form in 2016. Wait, 20. No, you lied to me.
What?
You lied to me.
What do you mean?
You know, Shadow, the winner of the 2016 Robot Chicken Emmys was Robot Chicken, the untitled Christmas United special.
I thought, or was it 2017? Because it.
No, it's Once Upon a Townsville, 2016.
I could have.
Hall of Egress, one of the best Adventure Time episodes, was nominated in 2016. Didn't win. Lost to the stupid action figure show.
Okay, I thought it won, but I guess I'm just remembering wrong. That's my bad. Excuse me.
It would be a fun year to do, though. It has Steven Universe The Answer.
Yeah, it would be if that Powerpuff episode wasn't nominated.
And SpongeBob Company Picnic, which
I don't know that one.
I think I liked that one. It's been so many years. Adventure Time did one in 2017.
In 2017.
It's basically just like alternating between Adventure Time and Robot Chicken.
Yeah, I see that. Once Upon a Townsville. Do you want to watch an episode that actively tells you not to help someone who's trying to physically harm themselves? Watch Once Upon a Townsville. It's a bad episode. I don't like it. The memories are all coming back.
Yeah, how the heck could they put Hall of Egress next to that at the end? Man, the Emmys, man.
What a joke.
I'm starting to think this Emmy Award program is not
all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, somehow they're not a bastion of objective judging.
Well, just remember, Big Mouth is an Emmy Award-winning show, even though it didn't win.
And Netflix... No, they just said that it's nominated.
Well, didn't it win another category, so they said the show was award-winning? Was it a different show that did that? I know there was a show that we talked about that didn't actually win the animated category, but it was still advertised as award-winning because it won for, like, writing or something.
I gave Company Picnic a Scumbob, really?
Scumbob.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm confusing Company Picnic with the one...
That other SpongeBob episode. There's like 200 of them. Cut him a break, guys. There's like 200 episodes.
There's like 200 half hours, friend.
Yeah, like, cut him some slack. It doesn't matter. It's not important.
Can't believe me.
Leave him alone.
No, I think I was confusing it with the one where it's like feral friends. Yeah, because they both take place at Jellyfish Fields. There's only like 5 locations on.
It was Big Mouth. Thank you, Frank. It's Big Mouth for voice acting because one of the actors won for voice acting, so it's an Emmy award-winning series. Yep.
Look, here's the thing. That is, you know what? If Big Mouth has to win an award, I'd rather give it to voice acting because I
would too. But like the statement itself is a bold-faced lie. The series did not win. A person won. I don't know if they advertised it as series or show or what, but if they said award-winning series or award-winning show, they are blatantly lying because that's not true. A person that was on the show won for their performance, but that doesn't mean the show itself won. Boom, semantics. Okay, anyway, I don't like Big Mouth. What is this stream anymore?
This episode of Power Girls 2016 is a Scumville.
Ugh. It's... I can't even say what it is. I'd have to, like, get the censor up.
Is it a heck boy?
Oh, it's worse than a heck boy.
Oh.
It's like...
Nothing could be worse than a heck boy.
There's 9 circles of heck boy, and that episode's in, like, the 14th.
Is it number 11? Is the word you want to use to describe number 11?
Oh, it's number 11 times 65.
Oh, man. You're telling me that Pie Guy doesn't fall asleep to all hundreds of SpongeBob episodes on loop at the same time? Man, thanks to the internet, I never watched SpongeBob again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Certified ruined.
Yep. Oh man. Oh man. Uh-oh.
So Shadow,
Yeah.
how's your Lego thing coming?
It's pretty good. My collection is growing. I told this, but I guess I can tell chat. I got Thor's hammer, because it's called Thor's hammer, because I doubt Lego thought that people would recognize Mjolnir as the thing. So, yeah, today I got Thor's hammer Lego set, and it's pretty dope, and it's cool, and I'm really into Legos, and yeah, woo. No one speaks Nordic these days. THQ Nordic would like to have a word with you.